the big heavyweight fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. And man, this is getting a lot of attention right now. We'll give our thoughts on how we saw the fight. Obviously, the controversy. There was many knockdowns, supposedly illegal knockdown as well. How did you see the fight, DJ? How are you feeling, firstly?
Yeah, man, feeling good. How are you? Thank you for, joining on the move. Uh, much appreciated. Shows your love for the sport.
Mm.
So yeah, man, yeah, you're right. Big. We had a good weekend of combat sports. We had the UFC Singapore. It's a very good card, and then we also had Usyk versus Dubois uh, for the obviously the heavyweight titles. Man, look, to be honest, just before we get into it any deeper than that, like I just felt like it was outside of that controversial point in that fight in the fifth round. I just felt like Usyk, was doing what Usyk does. Go in there, take control of the fight, be very technical, throw some combinations, fight behind the jab, be elusive, be active, and that's exactly what he did. So I think it's just that that fifth round knockdown. Obviously, that controversy took a lot away from his actual performance, and I think the focus is on that. Look, to be honest, like you can't blame the wider community for focusing on that because there is a lot of debate around that. There's a lot of controversy. I mean, before we get into that, CT, do you think that that was a low blow?
Yeah, I'm glad you get it out of the way because that's a $1 million question. Always straight to the point. But look, there's so many different angles. Watching, so obviously seeing it, I didn't see it live. I saw the angles. It does appear to be right on the belt. Obviously, I think the trunks can be higher on some fighters than others. So I'm going to say he followed the instructions of the ref and probably
Yeah,
milked it once it was called a low blow. But technically, look, when you're forced to make that live decision,
yeah,
it was, on image, it looks like it was legal.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. What
absolutely.
about yeah? What about you?
Yeah, man, I felt the same. I felt like, I mean, at the end of the fight, when obviously when the referee was raising the winner's hand, obviously you can see his short sits right under his belly button. However, if you look closely during the entirety of the fight, the shorts do sit a little bit, probably aligned with his belly button, covering his belly button. Now, the boxing regulations or the rules state that anything below the belly button is considered a low blow. But this is where the controversy is because your belly button is covered with that shorts. You can't clearly determine whether it was below it or on that line. To the naked eye, I believe I thought it wasn't a low blow. I thought it was a solid body punch, a body shot which floored him. Having said that, I know there's a lot of controversy. I think from Usyk's point of view, it is a fight that he was winning, right? And I do think the ref immediately steps in timeout, right? Even before Usyk could gather his senses around, he jumps in, screams timeout, right, and then gets Dubois to go to his corner. That kind of, I guess, played a big part in what followed in terms of Usyk's body language. Look, the thing is, the ref is saying timeout, right? Unlike sort of the fighter requesting for something or an illegal shot, it was the ref who interfered. The ref immediately off the bat says timeout, right, and says if you got this much time to recover, right, that was a low blow, right. I do believe if for some reason that wasn't the case and the ref proceeded to go with the 10 count, uh, I would like to believe that Usyk would have shown a lot more urgency to get back up on his feet. Yes, he looked compromised. Yes, like at the moment of impact, if you look at his facial expression, it does show, uh, uh, that it was a crushing blow. He does show pain as he goes down. But then I do believe that he would have, shown a lot of urgency to come back up as well. Because the timeout was called and because Usyk was, already on the floor, he's like, you know what, you all just take that time out. Now, what is interesting that I found, look, obviously, not while you can't blame the fighters for this, I don't think the ref is without fault. I think to go straight to a timeout without sort of analyzing the situation probably was not a great move. And even for me, what stood out the most in terms of the ref's behavior was when Usyk was saying, "Hey, look, I'm ready to fight. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go." The ref was encouraging him to take more time, right? Now you can yes argue that both fighters get a bit of a rest, but the momentum shifted at that point towards Daniel Dubois. And the sooner or the quicker the action commenced, the more chances of him being able to sort of either replicate that body shot or put a little bit more pressure on him. This happened in the fifth round, obviously, and then in the ninth round we saw the stoppage, a TKO stoppage for Usyk. As I said, the outside of that point, I think Usyk was Usyk. He was quite dominant. It was a dominant victory. I felt like he outboxed Daniel Dubois. He was obviously very elusive, very evasive, and also a lot of forward pressure as well. Being the champ, took the fight to Dubois. And look, at the end of the day, got that TKO win. If that moment in that fifth round hadn't happened, we would have been talking about like a masterclass performance from Oleksandr Usyk. Now we've been told or we heard that Dubois promoters want to appeal uh, the fight, especially that call for timeout, considering it's a low blow. And what they believe to achieve or what they aim to achieve through this is to get a rematch, right? Now, again, like I said, like it was a fight where we did see Usyk dominate. So I don't know how much changes can be made to like sort of find some success. Look, anything can happen in a fight. It is a fight, right? Like I mean, remember the third Wilder fight? We all thought, Wilder's done. Why does he want to go a third time? But then he surprised us and did take Fury to the canvas. So you never know. Like a fight's a fight, but yeah, they want to get a rematch. Obviously, it is. I mean, from Daniel Dubois' point of view, it is quite, you know, uh, I guess, frustrating being on that cusp of that championship glory. Right, had it been called a body shot and had the 10 count been done, there is a valid argument that Usyk may have not made to the 10 count, which then makes Daniel Dubois the winner and in turn making him the heavyweight champion. So, man, interesting scenes. We'll just have to wait and see what transpires.
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of what's to come, and I feel like I don't know if it's going to be granted a rematch. The chances of it, I think, are going to be slim, but it brings up a interesting talking point about combat sports, DJ. Other, like, let's say ball sports, team sports, where they can have the technology in live play to stop or either someone reviewing. But in this case, with a 10-second count or whether a fighter is concussed or not, you can't really pause it and go back and kind of thing. The referee is forced to make a live decision that's going to
Yeah.
cost the outcome of the fight. Um, do you see any other way? Like, could technology, help in any way?
Yeah, maybe a review, but still, again, that moment is gone though. Like you still can't go
Mm.
back to that 10 count because the person's
Yeah.
right. What you can do though, maybe perhaps do the 10 count right while you call for a review. You still do the 10 count to establish that the fighter can or cannot get up during that 10 count, and then you proceed with the review. The review comes back as a low blow, then that 10 count is void. But if it isn't, then that gives the victory to your opponent. So controversy definitely. But kudos obviously to Usyk for taking the fight as well. I know we've all been, including himself, gunning for that big fight with Fury. He sort of kind of put his titles on the line, took a bit of a risk because Daniel Dubois is also a really good boxer. And look, he came out victorious. Let's see if a rematch does come across their table for these two. If it does, like I guess the timings would still align because he did call Fury after this fight as well. He said, "I'm still interested in that Fury fight." And then we're hearing from the AJ camp that there are plans for a Usyk Fury and Wilder Joshua fight all to happen in that same arena on the same night. So Obviously that was that dream that was there was a rumor floating around a while ago. So let's hope it comes to fruition. Um, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we want heavyweight boxing to continue to grow and be the boxing be the story. Unfortunately, like you said, Usyk's performance and the result was a bit overshadowed with what
Mhm.
happened throughout this fight. But yeah, let's hope. Two fine fighters. We want the best. You and I, we're the biggest fight fans, and
Yeah.
we just want the right outcome, fair outcome. But let us know in the comments section, guys, if you agreed with us, you disagreed. We want to know. We enjoy your input, and we want to have a conversation as well. But we'll obviously be uploading another episode, so check that out for the UFC Singapore outcome. But for this one, it's CT and DJ. We'll see you on the next one.